Hello, I'm Eric, and in 2024 I want to generate more content. I frequently have a need to share ideas on a wide variety of topics, and recording them and sharing them seems like it'd be a simpler way of going about it. So you get to come on this journey with me if you're watching this. I just downloaded something called OBS, which stands for Open Broadcaster Software, which lets you arrange windows on your desktop, share them in whatever format. As you can see, I've just got them laid out here, and then walk through whatever your topic is with some visual aids. So what I've got up here on for today's topic is a copy of PyCharm with just a brand new project created in it with the default kind of sample code. I've got a window with ChatGPT open in it with a prompt already in there, which I'll explain momentarily, and just video with my face on it, so there's, you can see who the human is that's actually doing this. So if you should like to generate your own content, there's a little bonus for you. Today's topic, what I'd like to talk about is using ChatGPT as a software developer. And I'm talking about ChatGPT itself as opposed to, say, GitHub Copilot or Code Whisperer or one of the IDE embedded tools. I found that this is very powerful, ChatGPT that is, simply because if you're already a seasoned programmer, you don't necessarily need to go through a long set of tutorials to pick up a new language or a framework. You generally are going to know what it is you want to get done, and so having some hands-on experience, just start doing to figure it out, is, I think, a much simpler way of going about it. So let's say I wanted to do some work with the latest version of React, which I don't know particularly well. I haven't used it in a few years. I would follow a similar pattern. In this case, I'm doing something that I did do a quick walkthrough once just to see if it's as easy as I thought it would be, and it is. And that is, let's create a simple REST service that returns data from a database in Python. So I've got Python Community Edition installed here. I didn't really do much other than create a project in it. And I've given ChatGPT this prompt, which is exactly what I said. Create a simple REST service that returns data from a database. Now looking at the code here, it has given me database setup. So it's just inserting a couple of rows. Let's go ahead and copy that now. And then populating the database with some data. And then it creates a REST service, which you should be able to call from a browser after running it. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Let me paste that code that I grabbed here, which is just going to have SQLite imported, and this is going to need to be in a function. Let me go ahead and grab the rest of that database code to populate it. I'm just going to paste that in here as well. So let's create a method. Create and load. What's this called? Records. Create and load records table. And I'm just going to tab this stuff over. So now it's an actual function. I do know a little bit of Python. I've played with it, but I don't know the language at all well. Let's copy this code as well. This is going to create a Flask application. It's also got the import statement, so I'll need to dedupe that and move this Flask up to the top. So let me just paste this down below what I created already. I'm going to go up and fix my mess here and move this to the top where it belongs. We got some reds, so what is that? Alt-Enter, I think, in here. Yep. Install package Flask. Do I need to do that for JSONify as well? No. That should already be in there. Okay, good to know. Okay, I think the rest of this will work. I think this app directive, if I recall correctly, should be at the top. Since I created this, we're going to have to actually call it. And this is a toy example, right? You would never create your database and populate it as part of your get method. So we're going to assume that this already exists, but this is just so we have some data to return. So let's see. This looks like it might run as it is. Fire it off. Oh, claims to be. All right, control click, 404 not found. That's not surprising. I get the same thing every time because I haven't used the actual route. So let's add that onto the end of our request. And what is my expectation here? It's going to connect, select all, fetch, return it as JSONified data. And it did. So record 1, sample data 1, record 2, sample data 2. Now, clearly it's a toy example. This is not going to be production code, but that was really fast. How far in are we? We're 5 minutes and 42 seconds into this video, and I chatted on for a few minutes ahead of time. And like I said, I ran through this once before just to make sure it would work before recording the video, and it wasn't any slower. It's just, I think I pasted the code in the wrong order, saw the error, went ahead and moved it around, and got things up and running pretty much right away. So the point I'm trying to make here is that it is very powerful to use plain old vanilla ChatGPT to give you example code for whatever it is you need to get done in some new language or framework, and make it a lot easier to pick it up. It's not a substitute for having a colleague or some sort of resource that can cross-check you and give you some feedback on whether you shouldn't try to do that thing. There's sometimes paradigm shifts when you're switching between languages and frameworks. But all that said, it's still a very powerful tool for helping you move a story across the board when you need to get something done quickly.